What's up, guys? Derek here with Tap and Turn Gaming, coming at you today with an EDH deck tech. Today's deck tech will be for Emrakul, the Promised End, aka ME2. This is a subscriber requested deck. One of our subscribers wanted to see what we'd come up with for Emrakul. So let's take a look at the general first. Now, Emrakul is a 13 cost 13/13 who is colorless only, so you can only run colorless spells, which is going to severely limit us to a lot of artifacts and colorless creatures. But that's alright. It does have some cool abilities on it. She has she, he, it. I think she's referred to as a she, so we'll go with that. Flying and trample and protection from instants. And having that protection from instants really makes her hard to kill and hard to get rid of. Then she has, when you cast her, gain control of target opponent for their next turn, and after that turn they get an extra turn. So that's pretty cool that we can cast her, and then we can go ahead and see what they have in their hand, dump any sort of way that they have to get rid of her on one of their creatures maybe, and then after that they get their own turn. It says they get an extra turn after that, but really they just get like a turn because you already had one of their turns. So that's pretty cool. And then she costs one less to cast for each type of card in your graveyard. So we have lands, instants, sorceries, planeswalkers, creatures, and artifacts. So we can lower her essentially by 5. And that means we can get her down to 8. And 8 cost for her is pretty solid, really. So let's take a look at what we decided to run. For lands, we went with Eldrazi Temple, Eye of Ujin, Sanctum of Ujin, Urza's Factory, Mine, Power Plant, and Tower, Vesuva to be able to copy a land, and 30 wastes. The reason I went with 30 wastes instead of other lands is that's really up to your guys' preference of what things you may want to run. Things like the panoramas and Terramorph Expanse and any kind of fetch is going to be nice just to be able to go ahead and get that type in the graveyard. But there's a plethora of colorless lands, so I just threw in wastes, make the deck a little cheaper on the money because there are some pretty expensive cards on here. So, you can go ahead and put in whatever lands you feel would be necessary for you, but the wastes were just easy to fill the slot for now. For instance, we're running Not of This World to be the counter, Scour from Existence to get rid of that trouble permanent, Spatial Contortion to be able to have a kill spell, Titan's Presence as another kill spell, and since we have tons of colorless creatures in here, that won't be a problem to reveal one, and Warping Whale to be able to exile a creature or counter a sorcery. This is an important spell for us because where Emrakul has protection from instants, one of the only things that's going to stop her is a sweeper, a sweeper, and most of those are sorceries. So being able to counter a sorcery with this is very, very nice. For sorceries, we run All Is Dust, just so that we can have that one-sided sort of sweeper for us. For Planeswalkers, we're running Karn Liberated and Ujin the Spirit Dragon, both of the colorless Planeswalkers. For creatures, we went with a lot of Eldrazi since a lot of them are colorless, but we do have some really choice artifact creatures in here. But we're running Artisan of Kozilek, Bane of Balaged, Breaker of Armies. The reason he's in here is I really like him as a sort of an alpha striker. We get a bunch of guys down, we swing with all of them, and every single creature has to block Breaker. And that's fine. We're gonna throw him under the bus more or less to be able to have all of our other creatures go through unblocked, and that's really cool. Conduit of Ruin. Drow Scorpion is in here as a combo piece. Duplicant is really nice to be able to get rid of their creatures. Endbringer. It That Betrays. Kozilek, Butcher of Truth. Kozilek the Great Distortion, Kodultha Forge Master, Matter Reshaper, Oblivion Sour, Steel Hellkite, Thought Not Seer, Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger, Ulamog the Infinite Gyre, Void Winnower, and Wormcoil Engine. So a lot of what we have is just big beefy guys. A couple of them have some nice little abilities tacked onto them, like Artisan of Kozilek has the res, It That Betrays, anything that gets sacrificed we get on our turn after. Kodultha Forge Master lets us 2 different artifacts if we sacrifice 3 artifacts. So we do have a lot of cool things going in. Now, one of the cooler things is that we have a couple artifact creatures. So when they're in the graveyard, they will count as an artifact and a creature for reducing the cost of Emrakul. So that's really cool. And then for our artifacts, we're running Argentum Armor, Ashnod's Altar, Basalt Monolith, Cloudstone Curio, Darksteel Forge, Darksteel Ingot, Dreamstone Hedron, Hedron Archive, Hell Vault, Croc Clan Ironworks, Magnifying Glass, Mana Crypt, Mind Stone, Mycosynth Lattice, Mirror Matrix, Mirror Turbine, Neverill's Disc, Nim Deathmantle, Oblivion Stone, Planar Portal, Predator Flagship, Ring of Three Wishes, Ring of Brighthearth, Sculpting Steel, Seer's Lantern, Soul Ring, Spinavisha, Strionic Resonator, Tamio's Journal, Thought Vessel, Thran Dynamo, Ujin's Nexus, Unstable Obelisk, and Worn Power Stone. So a lot of what we have in here is really just going to be, you may have noticed that we have a lot of mana rocks in here. We want to be able to play those early and often and be able to drop her out. A really nice thing we have right here is Ujin's Nexus, and that is players can't have extra turns. So when we cast our Emrakul, if we have down Ujin's Nexus, we control their turn, and then when they would get the extra turn, they just don't. So that's very, very nice. But a lot of our things are in here just for like a secondary purpose. You'll notice a lot of our mana rocks we can sacrifice to do something else, just to get that in the graveyard when we don't need the mana rock anymore. Mind Stone, for instance, we can sacrifice to draw a card. Where is it? Dreamstone Hedron, we can sacrifice to draw cards. Hedron Archive, we can sacrifice to draw cards. Just so we have that kind of thing going on. And it is notable to say that Emrakul is a two-shot commander, and there's not very many of those out there that are actually just two-shot commanders. So Emrakul is, I know Atarka World Render is because of the double strike, but there's not many creatures out there that are two-shot generals, and that's a huge thing. But this is the deck you saw. We went through all the cards. A lot of artifacts, a lot of land, a lot of creature, obviously not a lot of planeswalkers or sorceries or instants. So yeah, this has been Derek with Tap and Turn Gaming. If you have any thing you'd like to take in the deck, add out of the deck, think I made some bad decisions, good decisions, comment on the video, let us know what you think. We do reply to pretty much all the comments we get. So let us know what you think about it. Please, like the video, share the video. It really helps us out. And yeah, comment on it with anything you think we did well or bad. But again, this has been Derek with Tap and Turn Gaming. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you all later. Thanks a lot, and goodbye.